There is a brand new aftermarket part for the 9mm PM pistol. This is the Skull Splitter. This heavily increases your headshot multiplier and your damage range. And today we're going to test how strong it is against the Guardian. First things first, of course, here is the class we're rocking. I decided to go with the single 9mm today just to see how accurate we can be and how much damage we could do per bullet. Even though the hipfire of the 9mm aren't terrible, it still feels really satisfying to get that headshot. Now, spoiler alert, I have used this casually before this video because I was really excited. Everyone was telling how great it was, and I hope to verify that today. And with Season 5, they also increased the rate of fire of the 9mm, so I am excited to test that out too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Skull Splitter was either an attachment or a Pack-a-Punch name. I think it was an attachment back in Black Ops 4 for the Mozu pistol, which was one of my favorite weapons of Black Ops 4. I remember it being really controversial. You either loved it or you hated it. Now, it had a much faster rate of fire than this does, so it was super satisfying and like very low recoil. This one's recoil isn't too bad. It's a lot of visual recoil. By the time I'm able to shoot again, the center speed has brought it back basically to the center, so I'm not super worried about having double tap. I don't have rapid fire because we're also going to test out the DPS for our DPS spreadsheet, which is unfortunately so out of date now. If you didn't see my latest video, they buffed Deadshot, the dead head augment, the one that I used to test out all of the weapons, so we're gonna need to go back and retest all of the damage numbers. Luckily, it's not the rate of fire, so I can run different double tap augments, I can run rapid fire if I want to, and then some of you guys are helping me out with some verification steps for that, so that's really kind of you. Shout out Rich Overseers, I believe, on the Discord. You've done a lot of good work, my friend. Now, speaking of a lot of work, we are also going to be testing out Mr. Peaks up against the Guardian boss fight here. And I apologize, I know in yesterday's video, did I? Okay, thank you. I was like, I thought I turned that off. I know I said either Monday or Tuesday I would have that Mr. Peaks video out, but there's a lot more to Mr. Peaks than I thought, and specifically in regards to damage. So there's a lot. Can I aim, please? So I'm gonna need to test out, and with every map, you know, I'm gonna need to set some parameters up just so I don't like go crazy, because it's getting harder and harder to test literally everything against literally every single boss zombie, special enemy, and big bad boss of the main quests. But this time around, there might be an augment combination that facilitates or necessitates using Mr. Peaks and all of the bosses. We'll see. Let's just remember we are doing the Easter egg, so we will need to pick up all of the fun things, including the lightning rod donuts. There we go. It's been a while since I've done this Easter egg. And yes, I thought we'd go with Citadel instead of Reckoning because I've been playing a lot of the Reckoning lately. I'm having such a fun time with that map. Even though I think the atmosphere is pretty lame, I do think it is one of the best like facility maps that we've gotten. I guess that depends if you consider Terminus a facility, which I mean technically, but it's more of an island map in my brain. I know a lot of people might consider Citadel a facility map, but I was playing this, well, for testing purposes, and I was walking around and I was like, you know what? Outside of like these tables and desks that were put in here through whatever private military corporation that Richtofen hired, there's this, I really wouldn't consider this a facility, you know? Let me know if you would consider this a facility. I definitely wouldn't. I mean, there's dungeons, there's, and a cool little aspect here. I mean, obviously you got the zombies in the cages, but Quick Revive is right outside Dr. Kraft's room, which to me is almost like a torture method. Like, hey, we're gonna torture you, and then give you Quick Revive in the lore so that way you stay alive. I don't know if that's how exactly the perks work, but I thought it was a neat idea. And we clearly need to upgrade this weapon, so let's go get the Pack-a-Punch opened. I wanted to take care of some of those zombies before we took on this Doppelgast because this is a rather slow rate of fire. So let's do this. Yes, it's not gonna be too terribly strong, but none of the pistols are super strong. So let's throw a shock charge down since I've got a couple of them. Yeah, that's pretty rough damage for Unpack-a-Punched. Luckily, Mr. Peaks here is actually pretty decent damage. We've got the focus point on the boss zombies, and then he'll go after the regular base zombies. And I believe we have extension on, so I'm really curious to see what that does against the Guardian, if anything, if it considers that a boss zombie, because if it does, I'm in for a lot of work. But hey, we've pack-a-punched it, so hopefully it'll get a little bit better penetration damage and hopefully a lot more damage. Okay, 475 is not a terribly large amount of damage if I'm recalling, but it's a good headshot multiplier. Ooh, that's 11. Oh no, you know what? Okay, sneak peek at Mr. Peaks here. Do you see that? Like, some of them is 475, some of them is 1178. Well, what I've noticed is that when Mr. Peaks gets kills, randomly you will deal like insta-kill damage on the zombies. I have no idea why or what causes it to happen, but it has been a consistent hurdle that I need to hurdle over for this Mr. Peaks video, mainly in regard to how quickly you recharge Mr. Peaks, because insta-kills don't necessarily always count towards your charge. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's gotta be a glitch. It's definitely not working as intended. At least I don't think so. This is such a cool thing about Dr. Craft here, and I don't think they really explain it all, do they? Like, was that him possessed by one of those gods from Vanguard? I don't know. It's pretty much never revisited again. I should mention though, going from like 62 damage or whatever we were all the way up to 1100, and now we've upgraded it. We're gonna go to 2300 damage. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're gonna have a lot of fun this game, I think, with this gun. But let's go ahead and get working on this first incantation. I think Citadel is going to be one of those maps that we forget about after Black Ops 6. But when we revisit this next year or a couple years from now or in the downtime, I think this is going to be people's favorite map. I say this because I know Terminus is pretty linear, and even though it's good, it is linear. And the Beam Smasher might not be the greatest wonder weapon for people, at least compared to the swords. The swords are really cool and they don't take up a weapon slot, at least in terms of melee. There's a lot of good things about Citadel. I always put Terminus ahead of this one, but the more I play Citadel, it's a tough call. It's a tough call if you ask me. And Terminus is on the island, which is just gorgeous, and I love the dark and rainy atmosphere, but the magical atmosphere, the Easter egg steps, the incantations, it has a magic feel to this, you know? It feels very different. But then again, I'm always the one that says zombie maps are supposed to feel different. You're not supposed to have like this linear favorite, least favorite, so that makes perfect sense to me. For our first sword, let's do the fire sword, mix things up a little bit. That's a joke. I always do the fire sword first for some reason. We will just place it down in here. I was thinking about elemental wonder weapons for my Guess the Zombies map series, just something I always passively think about. And then it occurred to me that this process for the fire sword is basically the same process as the Hand of Gaia in Ancient Evil. You go throughout a portion of the map and it tasks you with picking something up from somewhere specific and a consistent place every time, and then running it back to the original location of the sword or gauntlet or whatever without taking any damage. Now, in Black Ops 4, you do it really slowly because you're holding the seed, but here you do it because you're on fire, so you're sprinting really fast. I think that's a really interesting example of the same mechanic being used, but it feeling very different because of very subtle and slight changes, which I think is pretty cool. It's also something that you probably don't think about if your job isn't to play video games every day. Either way, I love both of the quests, and I love this little dragon animation. And believe me, in Season 6, barring any sort of like crazy mega Mephistopheles boss fight, for a super Easter egg type of thing, if we don't really get anything, then I'm probably going to be revisiting a lot of the wonder weapons and a lot of these older maps just to kind of clean up the content spread that I've done on them. I know there's a lot of questions about exactly how the swords work, and my Gorgafex video really did well, so I'd love to do that for all of the older wonder weapons. I know I did it for the jet gun, but that's not exactly as exciting. Plus the swords, I think, might be underrated. I'm not sure. I think I underrate them. I don't know. They're really fun. I love the charge abilities, but I never want to use them because then I lose them. But let's pick up this ritual item and start this ritual. And let's see if we can't do it with our 9mm here. Look at that. Apparently it has really good penetration damage. And again, if anybody has any idea of how to test that consistently, I would love to know that. That's really good. So our fire sword is done. Be sure to open up the chest, open up the incantation. And I think we go light sword next. And I know I just said, like, how do we test FMJ or bullet penetration? But you'll notice, like, the body shot damage here, if you take a look, it's 360 damage. So this is an interesting, this is, you're seeing my mind work in real time here. If we line these guys up, a lot of these damage numbers are still relatively high. So maybe I just shoot a horde of those zombies and see the damage drop off, because that's like really high, like 340. I feel like that's not a bad damage drop off at all. Huh, I wonder if there's something there. I wonder if I like line up 2 zombies and then I see how much it drops versus 1, if that's consistent at all. It depends on where you shoot them to. It's so difficult, which is why I haven't done it yet, because I feel like there's not a good scientific way, but it's always good to keep thinking about it, I guess. All right, let's make sure not to kill 2 parasites at the same time. That would be tragic, even though they love standing next to each other. I don't think that was 2 parasites. I think we just didn't get 1 spawned in. That's perfectly fine. We'll flip to the next round. Probably gonna be a bug round. That's fine. We can do the Raven Sword, I bet. Yeah. Oh, we should definitely get this lightning rod. Beautiful. Oh, hey, look at that. It's a parasite round. Where's my glowing parasite? There you are. But let's go in the door. Down we go into this pedestal. We've got the target, the Asterix, the fishbone, and the Pokeball. Easy as that. And now we got the light sword. And we're gonna try to get rid of all of those vermin and wait for an armored zombie so we can go do the Raven Sword on an easy round, making good progress. Open up the light incantation. Aha, there it is. There's our zombie. Thank you very much. We'll take our Raven Sword and go down to the bar. And it looks like we have the jawbone, so I believe that's going to be the regular triangle. And then this one, yes, indeed it is. And this is why I always love doing it on a parasite round. If you think this step is really tedious or difficult, highly recommend just saving a parasite. They're really easy to dodge, much better than a crawler. We've got enough salvage for an epic weapon now, and that should be good. Little trick that I like to do is coming around this way. That way they're all coming the same direction, these orbs, and I'm not having to split the difference between them. Hey buddy, get on out of here. And then of course we can get all 3 in a row. Lovely. And we'll meet him back downstairs. And once he's here, we will give the sword to him in one of the coolest animations of the game, and one of the coolest wonder weapons of the game. Now, I don't think you can shoot the Raven from here. You might be able to. I don't think you can. You cannot. Bummer. Ooh, a doppelgas. Let's see how good this pistol is against it. Ooh, look at that headshot damage. Nice. 3,000 damage, and we're not even Pack-a-Punch 2 yet. 3,500 too. 35 is going to be at least 7,000, which is going to double to 14,000. And then if we take 50% of that, we might be dealing like upwards of 21,000 damage when this thing is fully upgraded. That's awesome. And we have a stim shot. Bummer. I was hoping they would drop a frag grenade or something, but they didn't, so I will have to buy one myself. I don't want to go all the way around the map. That's why I'm getting one of these. Because if we just throw one in there, we can get the Raven out just like so. And then we can snipe him out of the air. I should probably get tier 2 armor eventually, but we'll take out this doppelgast. Look at that. You're definitely going to need to be accurate, but very much worth it. Very, very much worth it. Especially if the penetration thing is true. Like, we're bleeding out. Like, look at that. We're retaining so much damage through all of these. That's really nice. But we should probably start taking a look at the order of our traps. The first one is going to be circles. The next one is going to be nothing. And the last one is 4. Okay. Circles for nothing. Circles for nothing. That sounds like an organization. This room is always so much more dangerous than it appears to be. You've got all these zombies. Think we're clear? Let's get all of these headshots in. Look at that. Look at that damage. Ooh, boy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Come on, that's got to be enough. It's enough. It's enough. Unlock that. And of course, we love the end of round double points. Luckily, there is a secret bonus points back here just behind this couch. And might as well come in here and double Pack-a-Punch for hopefully 7,000 damage. I hear the amalgam. Where is it at? Where is it at? There it is. Hello. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, that's 7,000 damage. That's crazy tough. But what's also crazy is Mr. Peaks. So check this out. And a great combination is to throw a shock charge while Mr. Peaks has the focus of the big bosses. And we should be able to take him out just like that. Beautiful. Oh, and we have a chopper gunner. That's nice. And let's get to the end of the round here. Wow, dude, this pistol. It's a very slow rate of fire. Double tap is going to help out a lot, and you're going to want to put rapid fire on it. But the damage is just, I mean, we're all suckers for good damage, you know? The Essex, the Dissector, in my opinion. Oh, such a slept-on weapon. Aha, here's our armored zombie friend with our last lightning rod. And I think this is like my favorite sword to upgrade, at least in terms of spectacle. Like, I love this lightning cloud. I love how it uses like the metal sword to get struck by lightning in here, and you have to channel it through this. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. You're charging it with lightning, putting it in here, and then you'll put the sword in there to like cement its power. And I accidentally turned around, so it is kind of sketchy right now. Oh, let's cut our way through these guys. Pardon me, excuse me, I need to put this right here. Thank you very much. Okay, now can we, oh, the rate of fire is so slow. We got to aim for those headshots. Come on. Okay, there we go. Let's head on back. Thank you very much. Okay, and now that we've got our horseshoe, we can launch ourselves in this lion cannon, get struck by lightning again. And where's it gonna be? It's gonna be over here. Pegasus's horseshoe. Man, how cool would it have been to bring back the Pegasus strike on this map, since it has to deal with the Chaos storyline coming back? That'd be so cool. To have Pegasus, like the Dark Ether version of Pegasus after you defeated him on Mount Olympus. Spoiler alert for Ancient Evil. I guess that's one of my biggest criticisms of the story. I know people don't like the literal story of what happened in Black Ops 6, and I have my thoughts on it too, but the biggest thing for me was, why introduce Chaos if like you're not gonna do anything with it? You know, like the Sentinel artifact always activated and created this trial, so why bring that back when it was its sole purpose and then not have it do that? It's a weird move for me. And I know we get excited about things returning and coming back, at least from a narrative perspective, but I think if they had handled these characters and, you know, the returning elements from Chaos a little bit better, then maybe them bringing back the original crew in Reckoning might have been met with a little bit less criticism. You gotta pay off what you've set up already in order to gain the trust of your audience. Oh my goodness. Let's do that. Let's do that. Beautiful. Trap is good. Let's do this. Almost done. Nice. That is one trap done. I think it was circles for nothing, right? Circles for nothing. What is this one? That's nothing. Okay, so that means our 4 needs to be either at Pack-a-Punch or Quick Revive, and it's this one. Sweet. So let's let some zombies spawn in, activate this, take them out. Wow, that's done. And we might have enough for the other trap. I know it's round 19 and I'm not being super efficient, but I've been trying to play a little bit looser, not be so strict and play it the same way every time. One, because that's pretty boring, but two, I think some people get the wrong idea when they watch some YouTubers like myself play the map and try to be as efficient as possible. Like, it's good to be efficient, but also the world's not going to end if you take a few extra rounds to do things. And there goes that. Wow. Well, let's end the round here. And we're going to need to get to round 25 anyway for the Wonder Fizz, so you know what? Why not? Oh my goodness, we got a Perkaholic, let's go! And a Power Keg, let's go! And a Flavor Hex! That was like the best Gobblegun spin ever! And I hope this is the last trap that we've got to do. If we've done it correctly, we should see a little red orb pop up from the ground. It looks like I've not done it correctly. Let's get on out of here. Uh-oh. I think I might have mixed up the orders. That might have been why they were completed so easily. We've got circles. Oh, circle, nothing, and then 4. You guys knew it. You guys knew it from the moment I said it. I immediately said the wrong thing to remember. And the end of round double points to just rub my face in it even more. You know what? Dang it. I need Deadshot. If I'm gonna run this crazy headshot reliant weapon, why not? Let's go. Now we're gonna deal like 8,000 damage. Okay, that's a lot better. And yeah, since we've done that one already, we just need to do the Quick Revive one again. No big deal. Just gonna cost us a little bit of time and a little bit of points, but I think we should be a-okay. Now we can do this one again, and hopefully we should be more likely to complete it correctly, right? Yes, indeed we are. And let's see what we've got to do. We've got to do light, lightning, fire. Light, lightning, fire. Gotta do light, lightning, fire, dark. And that's all 4. We should now see the mystic orb descend from greatness. And now we're just gonna have to have some fun. Oh, and I just heard an amalgam spawn in. I need to go grab a lightning incantation or something. Fire will do, that's okay. Where is he at? Oh, he's over here somewhere. Oh no, block, 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 block. Incantation. Get on out of here, please. Thank you. That was really close. That was a lot closer than it should have been. And there's no armor. Oop, armor. Come on, come on. Finish this, please. Thank you, thank you. Pick up the orb. Don't forget the orb. I swear, I don't think there's been a single video where I've actually remembered to pick up the orb. At least every single time. Ooh, we've got enough to legendary upgrade it. Sweet. And triple pack a punch. We're doing really good. We're doing really good. But first, let's do this mystic orb lockdown. Let's gather all the people. Gather all the people. Make sure everyone's nice and center. And if you ever having trouble with the alternate fire of the sword, like the big ultimate attack, what you should do is just hold your swing down and then hold the block button down, and that will activate it every time. Except of course if you're on a ledge or something like the Raven sword doesn't like being, but holding it so you're swinging it and then blocking is going to give you the charge shot. And now we can upgrade this. Don't forget the orb. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. I was pack-a-punching my gun. We can get the orb. We're going to go switch weapons now. How much damage we're doing? 22,000 damage. That is awesome. That is almost a two-shot at health cap. Wow. I think I'm gonna grab the lightning sword for this one. I've got Molotov, so I'll just grab some fire incantations. It would be nice if this was a two-shot on health cap. That would be really powerful, but beggars can't be choosers. And what I want to do now is I want to use my pistol for this. Let's line up all of these zombies. Dang, there's so many zombies right up here. And then we're gonna light them on fire. We'll grab that incantation, but then I'm gonna start shooting so that they can die by the fire. And that should count. We'll do it again if we can gather them up over here, just like so. And then they're all in this little bottleneck. We can shoot them once they're lit on fire. And there we go. That is the Mystic Orb of Fire done. Beautiful. Didn't even need an incantation, just 2 Molotovs and we are good, which means we've got one final, was that button always here? I think it was. One final Mystic Orb lockdown to go. The Reckoning has had so many Easter eggs and side quests solved after the map's release, like weeks after. It's making me almost all but confident that we have missed things in these older maps. There's a lot of suspicious things, especially in Shattered Vale. There are a ton of suspicious things in Shattered Vale that I would love if they were connected. There's those like green computers that say like offline or something. I don't know. Could be super Easter egg stuff, which, you know, super egg is not confirmed, but if the Reckoning's taught us anything, is that there can be new Easter eggs and us not know about it for a long time. But you know what? We've got our final Mystic Orb. We've picked it up. I want to do this attack now. Let's get all of these vermin and parasites out of here. And that should be round 25, which gets me excited because the Wonder Fizz is spawning in, and that means we get Deadshot and PhD and Vulturade. Well, Vulturade was here, but you guys know. And I think that means an Amalgam soon, but let's see what this does against the Doppelgast here. It's doing 22,000 damage. That's a 2-shot kill. If you get the critical shots, of course. Man, just so much damage. And we're doing, what are we doing for a body shot? We're doing 5,000 damage per body shot. That's less impressive. That's like a 10-shot kill at a high round. Now, as we're getting prepared for this boss fight, I do want to say that I think this is going to be like one of the weirdest boss fights you're ever going to see. We're using Mr. Peaks. We're using this Skull Splitter aftermarket part. And we're also going to be using a very, very strange, how should I put this? A strange piece of equipment, because I would very much like to use some smoke grenades. That's right, I am a smoke grenade fan. I recently figured out it does work on the Z-Rex. Now, I know for a fact that smoke grenades, at least at some point in time, worked against the Guardian boss fight, because that's how we got the Of Legend calling card, which was such an epic video. But I'm hoping to use a smoke grenade to get as much time for Mr. Peaks to attack the Guardian as possible. That is, of course, if the Guardian if Mr. Peaks recognizes the Guardian in the first place. I'm still not sure. You will find out at the same time as I do. And I'm also not going to include Elemental Pop because I don't want any other damage flying around. That being said, before we go into the boss fight, I want to showcase this 9mm off a little bit more because I imagine, dude, this is crazy good. And oh yes, I will need to put on Deadwire here because I do need the elemental damage for my spreadsheet, but that's okay. Deadwire's not all that bad. And specifically, if you find yourself in a training spot that has a lot of flat ground. I know there's a lot in Liberty Falls that are pretty flat. There's a lot of good flat training spots in Terminus where you can line up headshots pretty well. A spot here and there on the tomb. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. 34,000 damage to a critical shot. That's awesome, dude. That's so awesome. And this, again, I have tested the Akimbo 9mm and they're pretty good. The hip fire is not bad, especially with that Deadshot augment, but with the Skull Splitter, you might want this ability to aim down sights and get the penetration damage that supposedly the 9mm gets. I mean, look at that. We just took out most of that horde. That's so good. But I do believe it's time we head on to the boss fight. We're gonna take the light sword, just in case. And we're gonna get ourselves a death machine. And we need to actually do one of my favorite parts of the Easter egg. Opening up the door to Diagon Alley and collect this Prima Materia full looking type of key, I guess. I wonder what those symbols are. I don't think we've seen those symbols in zombies before, have we? I mean, they look similar to other things. I don't know. No more storyline, donuts. Nobody wants to see you cover the storyline. And this is gonna be kind of a glimpse into how I test these things. So I'm sorry if I play this very strangely or not optimal. Here's a brand new round. We have everything that we want. We're gonna interact with this guy, start the boss fight. Is it still gonna ask us to vote here? It still asks us to vote, dang it. But if I were to show you the screenshot right now, when Citadel came out, like the 9mm pistol and Mr. Peaks as our field upgrade and Smokes as our equipment, you'd be like, donuts, why are you doing that? Why are you going into the boss fight with those crazy, stupid things? But for our first test, like I said, I first want to see how this 9mm does against his armor, because I hope it's gonna break it relatively soon. And once we break his armor and kind of see the damage that we're doing, okay, 4,700 damage. That is it's a lot less than I thought, and you can see it's not great. It's not great. More of a zombie specific weapon, I guess, which is fine. I like weapons that have different roles, but now what I would like to do is I would like to kill all of the zombies. Oh, okay. That ground slam attack is scary. I want to kill all the zombies so that way it's just him and me and I can test out Mr. Peaks against him. All right, is it just you and me? Is it just you and me? All right, let's oh, we've got that one zombie. Let's do this. Let's throw our smoke somewhere where he can't see us. He can see us in here, right? No, he can't. Okay, so then I'm gonna throw Mr. Peaks down. Do you see him? Do you see him? I don't think he sees him. What a bummer. That is so sad. That would have been so cool. Well, now we have to face this guy with this pea shooter. Oh, great. I was hoping Mr. Peaks would do something. Help me out here. Come on. We've got a very slow rate of fire. I don't think this is gonna be real big meta changing, but it's definitely a, I don't know, fun little attachment to play around with. Probably makes the base 9mm pistol a little bit better, depending on the rate of fire and your preference. Definitely probably gonna be really good in multiplayer over zombies though. That being said, I still would like to get Mr. Peaks back, at least for the amalgam that's gonna come on that third wave, because I really want to show you what it's capable of, because Mr. Peaks is really fun. And with a really lucky fetid upgrade, we've got our Mr. Peaks back. And we're back, and we're back. Okay, there's the max ammo. We were going this way, taking off his armor from his shoulder and his arm ever so slowly. And it's so cool that we got a little sneak peek of Dead Ops Arcade 4, and we saw the Guardian is gonna be a model, an enemy in Dead Ops Arcade 4. So I think that's just so cool. Why did I go there? And there's his shoulder blade off. We got to do his ankles now. Oh, this is taking a while. And I still do believe I have double standard on. I usually don't switch off a double standard. Oh boy, this is just so little damage for a boss fight. This is so bad. Get away. We have a Doppelgast here. Bummer. The Guardian really is difficult if you're not super close to him. I know, ooh, and we're getting 69 damage now. That's better. But especially in the second and third phase, if he's not doing a certain attack on you, then that's tough to do. That's tough. Oh, come on. Nice extra damage. And phase 2 complete. If you're out here, if you keep him at a distance, then he's gonna keep doing those lava attacks at you, and it's just gonna make the playable space super small. And here's the amalgam. Okay, all right. So here's the cool thing. We can throw this down and check this out. He is taking so much damage. Oh, this is gonna be so hard to show here. It's gonna be so hard to show. That amalgam's dead. The amalgam's dead. Literally didn't touch it with anything. Literally, that was all Mr. Peaks on round 28, and he's still going, fully capable of taking out an amalgam. And believe me, that is not the only thing Mr. Peaks can fully take out this early of a round. It's pretty fun. Like I said, I apologize for not getting that video out any sooner, but as you can imagine, doing all of the Easter eggs, fighting all the bosses, it's a little time consuming, especially when trying to keep up regular content as well, and when they randomly buff things that I need to test and share with you. But we are slowly but surely getting there with the Guardian, and I think would be pretty darn cool is if we get the Guardian over here, throw smoke down. Oh my goodness, the smokes don't throw the way they normally do. Let's throw you down over there. Can we go hidden? Thank you very much. We can hide from the Guardian. Check this out, dude. Look at this. Look at this. We took him out inside the smoke grenade, man. Oh, dude. Smoke grenade is underrated. Hey, Mr. Peaks might have been disappointing, but a pistol, smoke grenade, I don't know. That's a pretty wacky way of beating the Citadel boss fight, right? It is interesting that Kraft said, watch out for the Sentinel artifact because it could consume you. I don't know if that's exactly foreshadowing, but it worked out pretty nicely. But have no worries. I am indeed working really hard at getting out that Mr. Peaks video. I'm having a bunch of fun with it. Hopefully you guys will too. But in the meantime, if you want your data and analytics fix, did you know that they recently buffed both Napalm Burst and Deadshot? Well, if you didn't, I have all the details you need in these videos. Be sure to check them out, subscribe, and stay beautiful.